Hey there, and today I'd like to talk about the Mont Blanc Around the World in 80 Days Classique. Now, this is a pen that I got from my uncle back a month and a half ago in Japan. And so I couldn't bring back the gift box back home because it's literally the size of a cake box. So I only have the actual pen box itself. But you're not missing out on much because all you get is a bottle of ink. And that's it, really. Everything else is just pleasantries. It just looks better. But here's the pen box itself, or at least the cardboard sleeve that it comes in, and you get the box. It's nice, and there's good art, and it's made entirely out of, I'm assuming, what's recyclable material because it's paper, basically. It feels nice, but nothing big, nothing major. Then you have a brochure and a pen sleeve or a pouch made of, well, I guess cloth, and surfacing guide on the very bottom. But yeah, the pen pouch is a nice touch, I have to say, but not as nice as the Pelicans. After all, it is made from cloth. So here is the pen itself. It is not a big pen, definitely not oversized, but also not that small. It is just the size of a 146 Classique, not the Legrand. The Legrand is the blue one that Stephen Brown reviewed about a week ago. But we're talking about the Classique here. So, there's a lot of just small details on this pen I really do like, although as a whole it doesn't look that crazy. So on the top here, of course, we have the Mont Blanc snow cap, and 80 for the number of days that it took total. But also 25 for some reason, which is the number of days that it took to travel from Bombay to Yokohama. But I don't know. I didn't read the book, or it's been a while since I read the book. So I don't know the significance of that journey. Then on the clip is somewhat usable, not too hard. On the clip you have a red diamond because Phileas Foggs like to play whist. So, there's a diamond there, kind of nice reference to the book itself. There's also the initials S and R here. Now, I'm not sure what this could stand for. So I think this might just be my initials, because those are my initials. After all, my uncle bought this for me as a present. But of course, if any of you know what S and R could have stood for in the book itself, please do tell me. Educate me a little bit. Then on this side of the cap, we have an elephant, obviously. Not much I can say about that. It is engraved and carved in, it's not just a print. And then, of course, the usual Mont Blanc Meister stuck on the cap band here, the two stripes. Looks nice and classy. You might notice, on first sight, this pen does look black, but it is in actuality very dark gray, extremely dark gray. But it is still, in the end, dark gray and not actually black. It's just small detail there. Then on the back here, on the piston knob, there's a lot more poker stuff with the hearts and the spades and all that stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot of small details on this pen that I think that they're quite nice, quite enjoyable. But as a whole, this just looks like a 146 Classique style kind of pen with maybe a light bit of dressing up on either side, maybe the clip as well. So, nothing too extravagant on this special edition, not like a lot of the Mont Blanc stuff they do. And here's the section, relatively straight section with ever so slightly a bit of flare on the very, very end, and very comfortable to hold. Well, this entire pen, despite being made from resin, which is, let's be honest, it's just plastic, it feels very solid in the hand. It feels rather dense, and it feels pretty heavy, which is, for the price, of course you're expecting that, but It's good quality. You know that the material is nice. That's good. I guess that's good, yeah. Then here is the nib. Let me just get rid of the glare on that. You can see there's a hot air balloon on the nib. It is a 14 karat nib. And the famous 4810, the height of the mountain, of course, just on the very tip of that nib. The nib looks nice. And, you know, I'll get into how it writes in the writing sample, but I will say I prefer, and this is just me, but I do prefer the normal Mont Blanc nibs over the special edition. You know, the normal duo-toned silver and gold nib. I feel like that would look better, just for me, than this nib does. But then again, that's not to undermine how nice this nib looks. I feel like the printing is absolutely beautiful. The hot air balloon looks beautiful, but I kind of wish it was in 2 different colors. That's just me, though. Now, this pen, you could find it online for $900 thereabouts, whereas the normal edition, you know, just the 146 classic sized pen, you can find it for about $700 around there. That's just a simple Google search, of course. If you wanted to find one for cheaper, you could. So, for a special edition, for a Mont Blanc special edition, it's only a $200 price jump. Only is a big word here. So it's not to say it's cheap or to say it's really worth it, because I can't say that really for how bland this pen is, for lack of a better word. It is bland. It is a pretty normal looking special edition, but there are some nice details in it, and whatever the case, it is still a Mont Blanc special edition. So I feel that for this $200, it's a pretty good pen. But of course, I'm gonna do a writing sample and tell you about how it writes as well. Okay, time for the writing sample. Here is the Mont Blanc. Around the World in 80 Days, probably one of the longest pen names I've ever had to write, but then again, I've made like, 7 videos, so. And the ink is Mont Blanc Mystery Black. Paper is Clairefontaine, so let's go ahead and just write the good old sentence. The quick brown fox? I kind of forgot it, actually. For a second there, I forgot how to write the sentence. I thought it was the lazy dog jumps over the quick brown fox, which I suppose also works, although it would be a bit uncharacteristic. So this is a scratchy pen. It's got a lot of feedback. Sorry, scratchy might not be the right word to put it. It is smooth in its own weird, unique kind of way. It's not smooth like the Pelican. It's not smooth like the Lamy 2000. It actually has quite a bit of feedback, especially on Clairefontaine paper. It is, however, very wet. Let me just go ahead and show that for you. So yeah, so you can see it is quite wet, especially because I'm using this ink, which is actually a pretty dry ink. Even then, it's still so wet. Which is why I'm a bit confused as to why it has so much feedback. Maybe that's just the way it is tuned. It is a pleasant writer, that is for sure, but I do not think it is the smoothest writer out there, especially for the price. Now, in terms of flex, there is none. Like, I am pushing the pen quite a bit here. There is no flex going on, pretty much. I don't want to push it any more than this. But it being not the smoothest pen, because of how much feedback it has some friction with the page, and therefore ink delivery, ink flow is always consistent, always perfect. This pen has never skipped a single time ever since I've taken it out of the box. You can see very consistent ink flow. It's just always writes, doesn't matter how fast you're going, it writes. But the feedback, I don't think I like it that much, I'll be really honest with you. But decent writer, good looking pen, that's all I have to say.